Hi, I'm Samantha, and today in my audience I have Blake Fingelson, and we are going to be making dark chocolate banana muffins. I got the recipe from my science and food class at K-State, where I'm studying dietetics. So let's go ahead and get started. What you're going to be needing today is 2 bananas, a half a cup of sugar, a 1/4 cup of applesauce, 1 cup of flour, a half a tablespoon of baking powder, a half a teaspoon of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, and 1 egg, and 1 teaspoon of salt as well. So the first thing you're going to want to do is to mash your 2 bananas with your hands. I pre-mashed mine before making this video. And the next thing that you're going to do is you're going to be taking your sugar, and we want a half a cup of sugar. So for sugar, you can just go ahead and stick your measuring cup in the bag and scoop it out. And then just go ahead and pour it in with your bananas. And then you're going to want to mix up your sugar and your bananas a little bit before you start adding your other ingredients. And then after you mix that up a little bit, we're just going to start adding the rest of our ingredients. So today the reason that we're going to be adding applesauce is for less sugar consumption in our muffins. Since I'm a dietetic student, I'd like to find healthy recipes and share them with all my friends and family. So we're going to be taking a 1/4 cup of applesauce and mixing it in with our bananas and our sugar. After that, we're going to be getting some flour. And flour, you have to scoop flour in a special way. You don't want to just stick your measuring spoon or your measuring cup into your flour, because it will compact the flour, and then we won't get as good as an outcome as we want. So what we're going to be using today is a spoon, and we're just going to scoop in our flour right into our measuring cup, making sure it's nice and light and not compact. And then to level it off, you're just going to go like that, and then scoop the rest of the flour, or swipe the rest of the flour into the bag. And go ahead and mix that in. And then after adding our flour, we're going to do a half a tablespoon of baking powder. And since I don't have half a tablespoon, so 1 tablespoon is 3 teaspoons. So what I'm going to be doing is 1 teaspoon and then a half a teaspoon. And actually, baking powder is actually a combination of baking soda and an acid. And the next thing we're going to be adding is half a teaspoon of baking soda. So I'm going to take my half teaspoon again and go ahead and get all of that baking soda. The next thing that we're going to be adding is 1 teaspoon of vanilla. You want to be very careful with vanilla when you're pouring it. Don't pour it exactly over your mixing bowl, because if you pour too much, then it can be a very strong flavor that is added. And now we want half a teaspoon of salt. Pour that in there. And then the last thing that we're going to be adding is 1 egg. So if you just crack your egg on the side of your bowl, and then open it up into there. And then now you just want to mix all of your ingredients in. You want to make sure that that your flour is incorporated, you're getting that nice air in there, so that whenever you're actually baking your muffins, they will rise a little. And actually what's going to be helping your muffins rise is your baking powder, your baking soda, and your salt. Get it nice and mixed. And you're going to want to make sure that your oven is preheated to 350 before that you start cooking. I preheated mine before I started. if you look in here, it's all nice and mixed up. And this mixture should make about 12 muffins. I'm going to be spraying my muffin pan with some Pam so that it doesn't stick as much. And then I'll be taking my 4th cup and getting this mixture and pouring it into the muffin pans. You want to fill it up about halfway so that they don't overrise whenever they're baking. There's going to be some banana chunks, but that is going to add to the texture of your muffins. And I'm going to be making, I am a big lover of chocolate, so I'm going to make half my muffins without chocolate chips, and then I'm going to be adding some dark chocolate into the rest of the mixture. I'll just pour it and measure it by my eye, how much I think that I would like. And mix it up. And I am using white wheat flour. It rises really well, and it's a healthier way for your baking products. And then once you're done filling up your muffin tray, you're going to just put it in your oven for 20 minutes, or if you want to take a toothpick and then you stick it in there and pull it out, and if nothing comes out on the toothpick, then that means you're done. So overall, you just pretty much mix all the ingredients into at the same time. You don't have to do it in a certain way. Just make sure that you're adding your flour and your sugar at this around the same moment. But thank you for listening to my speech today, and I hope you enjoy some banana chocolate muffins when you get home.